I want to see turbans and hijabs fly.
It should make every American furious that we open up our nation. We're educating their children. We're educating them. We're keeping them cool in the summertime, warm in the winter. What else do you need from us? Oh, they want the money too.
Minnesota lawmakers are asking Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to respond by Tuesday regarding questions about a statewide child nutrition fraud scheme. The lawmakers are seeking Omar's written and electronic communications involving the state's Feeding Our Future program, which misused millions of dollars in taxpayer funds. State lawmakers specifically hoping to look at Omar's correspondence with the owners of the Safari restaurant. State lawmakers point out Omar was a regular at that restaurant, staging many campaign events there. Its owners recently pleaded guilty for their role in the $250 million fraud scheme. Now, Omar's team and allies have largely framed allegations trying to link her to fraud as politically motivated and not substantiated. But for more on this, we are joined by Minnesota State Representative Kristen Robbins tonight. She is the chair of the Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee, also a candidate for Minnesota governor. Appreciate you being here today and sharing your perspective. And I know we're fast approaching this Tuesday request for Congresswoman Omar here. If she doesn't respond by this deadline, what is your committee's move on Wednesday morning?
You know, we hope she will respond. She certainly owes it to Minnesota taxpayers and families to respond to our questions. And so I'm still hoping, but if not, the committee will examine all our options and we will continue to press for it because she created the program, the Meals Act, that took the guardrails off the school nutrition program that created the conditions for all this fraud.
It's about time. It is about time. You know, all of these Somali fraudsters have been getting quote unquote away. You know, a couple of them have fled the country with suitcases full of cash. The one, I can't even pronounce his name. The one man is getting off with a sweetheart deal from Keith Ellison, who himself should be, you know, brought up on some sort of charges because there's no way that you can be the attorney general and watch $19 billion fall through a crack. It's ridiculous. So I like that they gave her a deadline. I like that they're going to hold her feet to the fire. I would also like to meet her accountant. She must have Mr. Magoo without his glasses on. She's got Stevie Wonder. I don't know who makes that kind of accounting error, but that's a lot. That's a lot on one person's plate. I'm wondering if she'll step down and just take the money and run like the rest of them have. But it should be very interesting.
I want to see turbans and hijabs fly. I want to see them fly. That's what I want. I want them all out in the open. I want to see her nappy head because I think it's nappy underneath of there. But I just want to see it all, number one. And there's always these programs, again, most federal government, state programs, always these innocuous sounding names for the children and feed the children and let's take care of the children. And these children are still ass out, okay? I don't believe anybody's starving in the United States. I don't think they're starving. But this wench and her ilk, allegedly, okay, let me say that for YouTube, allegedly took the money and enriched themselves, set up false restaurants and fake restaurants and daycares and all this foolishness. Let the hijabs fly. Let them fly. They need to have all the books need to be open. Every book. Let's start with Ilhan, Tim Walz. Hell, I say even Keith Ellison, because I think in my never to be humble opinion, that he cooked the books for them as well. And that accountant, how do you go from making millions of dollars, million-something dollar error, and then all of a sudden, oh, that was an error, is really less than $90,000. Come on. So that means did you get a refund, if you will, back on the $1 million that was really not even there, and it was really government money anyway? So not only did they use the money fraudulently, they claimed millions of dollars on their taxes that they had in assets. Maybe they got refunds back on it. So you're gonna get refunds back on the stolen money you took from the government. I mean, you can't make this up. Allegedly, okay? But yes, let the hijabs fly. Everybody comes out of their clothes, out of their coverings or whatever. I want to see the books. Give me my money back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, folks, all of you are in the chat. Anyone who works hard for their money should be first, you should be upset about this story, but secondly, you should be following it to see where it leads. I mean, her name has popped up in at least 6 different trial exhibits from the case for this feeding America, feeding our future thing. I mean, that's the same $250 million of fraud where the Somali community insiders set up these fake nonprofits. She's interwoven in all of this stuff. This is our money, and and year after year we say, well, why does the budget, the U.S. budget, get bigger and bigger? Why do these social programs and these what do you call it, Social Security and all of this stuff gets bigger and bigger? Entitlement programs. It's because it's being defrauded. They're frauding it. And and again with the whole thing now where they shed a spotlight on her, and then she filed amended disclosures on her taxes. I mean, folks, we got to get to the bottom of this. I really hope this is not swept under the rug. I hope this is not Fauci'd where she gets away with it. We got to get to the bottom of this.
A couple of numbers. Let me give you these numbers and talk about give us our money back. I'm looking at this U.S. debt clock right now, real time. It says the U.S. national debt, 201 trillion something. I can't even go daggone spaces there, the number spaces. But the debt per citizen is about 115,000. Now it says debt per taxpayer. So that means that even if you're not paying taxes, you're already $115,000 in the hole. Per 357, rounded off, $360,000 per taxpayer. Do you realize that not only that, the interest now, from what I think a Wall Street Journal reported this last week, the interest on our debt is as much as the debt now, however they do the calculations, the daily interest, how it keeps going. So by the end of the year, we're going to be paying almost as much interest as the damn debt itself over time.
For the principal. So
if I understood correctly, I will put that caveat in there. If I understood it correctly,
I will say we need to follow the money. Okay. So she went from uber wealthy to suddenly, barely middle class because of an accounting error. What I would like is not one more dime of aid goes to any, most assuredly not Somalia, but any of the nations that she has anything to do with until we find out who took the money. Because somebody, and it blows my mind, you can't get through TSA with a packet of cookies, but they can go through TSA with a damn suitcase full of cash. What the hell? What the hell? I want to know where the money has gone. I want them to track down the money, and I want every bad actor who had anything to do with it. I don't care if all they got is 2 camels and a pig. I want them all arrested. I want to see prosecutions. I want to see jail sentences. What I don't want to see is American taxpayers' money, building resorts in Kenya, because that's where most of this money is going. And I've got a big issue with that, because when you take a look at who we spend money on, the nations that we spend the most money on, quote unquote, feeding the poor and all of this other foolishness, are the same people who come here and rob us damn blind. We've got to get better at protecting our homeland. Listen, I'm America first. I'm not one of those America first, America only people. I believe that we have to lead the world. I think that's a part of our calling. But with that said, we should have some very firm parameters that when people come here to do us harm, to rob us in our homeland and shake their little bony brown butts in our face, like, what are you going to do? I'm going to go back to the desert. We should burn the desert down. Just my personal opinion.
I agree. I agree with you
and
both.
The camels, they came in on too.
There's that.
And it's not just the blue cities, though. Have you all been following this story? The Daily Wire has been investigating that, it's happening in some Republican states as well, in Ohio particularly now. They now have one address was listed for 94 companies, according to the Daily Wire. No windows, totally empty, and billed to American taxpayers for $66 million. So over the last several years, shell companies have been fake billing, providing fake services, and covering their tracks until this very instant. and they've investigated this and uncovered Medicaid millionaires is what they're
We've been
calling
saying
them.
that. That's what I've been saying. It's happening in all states where
every place.
Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP. I've been saying that for months. It's not just blue states. It might happen more there, but it's everywhere because these programs are national programs. You can get pretty much carte blanche access. And remember, if you qualify for one, you qualify for several. Therefore, the fraud is able to diffuse itself in many ways across the country. Give us our money back.
And one other thing is that there should be red flags raised because many of these programs have been championed by Democrats. The Democrat Party is the one that champions these programs and giving this money and making more programs. And now that we've uncovered all of this fraud, they want it hush hush. You would think they would say something about this. Why isn't the money getting to the poor? We can't have this fraud going on. No, they don't want any part of it. They don't want people to uncover it. Well, why is that? Because they're getting money skimming off the top.
Absolutely. I think one of the best things that I'm hoping that Congress finally gets to work at is taking a hard look at Act Blue. Act Blue is their donor platform. And what they discovered, what some companies have discovered, is that, a lot of the people listed as small dollar donors were not. They were not donors at all, but this was just the laundering of money. So where did the money come from? Again, we need to follow the money and we'll get all the bad actors. And let me tell you, I don't care if they got a D behind their name, an R, an I, makes me no difference. If you're taking money that's been earmarked to help the indigent, to help, people who are critically ill, there's a very special place in hell for you, right? The American taxpayers work hard for their dollars. Our companies pay taxes, then we pay taxes on the little pieces of the money that they give us. And then everything we buy, we got to pay more taxes on it. We're taxed to death, but still Americans are very, very compassionate people, very compassionate people. But at some point we're getting played as suckers and it should make us mad. It should make every American furious that we open up our nation. We're educating their children. We're educating them. We're keeping them cool in the summertime, warm in the winter. What else do you need from us? Oh, they want the money too. They want the money too.
Yeah, it's terrible. All of us are being bent over and I can barely sit down now. I'm raw down there that I've been bent over so much on this stuff. We want our money back. Period. Again, as you come in, hit that like button. It helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience, and we appreciate the support. Also, are you checking out the other Metro Conservative Media shows? We have Just the Guys every Saturday at 6:30 p.m., where you get a male perspective on the news and pop culture. All right. We also have at KJ Christian Conservative. That's me, where you get the biblical perspective on news and pop culture every Thursday and Sunday at 9 p.m. You can check out me. So that at Just the Guys, they have the YouTube channel at Just the Guys Podcast, and KJ Christian Conservative YouTube channel at KJ Christian Conservative. You can get us all. So you can watch something from all of us at least almost every day of the week.
Every day of the week.